This is going to be a really short video on the last things we did when we converted to UDP. Previously, I was removing one entry at a time if the received count was greater than the maximum received client motor states. But since we are taking an array now, it's possible that more than one entry can be added at a time. So if we're only removing one at a time, it's possible that this list could just keep building and building. So what we need to do is we actually just need to convert this to a while loop. And that's it. So basically, instead of if count is greater than maximum, then just remove the first entry. We're going to remove the first entry while the count is greater than maximum. That way we won't have to run into that issue of the list growing and growing. And since we are taking the time to make this correction, we might as well convert the list to a queue. Removing from the zero index of a list is not super performant, so we're actually going to convert it to a queue. That's really simple, so I'm just going to change list to queue. You're going to see a couple errors pop up. Let's not worry about those right now. All right, so now we're going to go down here, and what we're going to do is instead of getting the first entry, we'll just do client motor state equals receive client motor states dot DQ, which will return and remove the first entry, so we can get rid of that line as well. And let's see what the next error is. Looks like here I am trying to get the last entry inside the queue to basically set the last client state received, but I can't actually do that because you can't access specific elements inside a queue. So what we will do instead is we'll just go like this. We'll just make this if statement here and get rid of this, and we're going to do last client state received equals states I dot fixed frame. So as we add them to the queue, we'll set the last client state received to whichever was the last entry we added. And since this is now a queue, instead of add, we're just going to change that to enqueue, which adds it to the queue. So the thing about queues is whenever you add entries, they go to the very back of the queue. And whenever you read entries, they go, or rather they pull from the very front of the queue. So this actually works perfectly for what we need. And we have one more error where we're removing the first entry if we're exceeding the count, which is removing the oldest entry. So given what I just said, we actually just want to DQ instead of remove. So it will remove the oldest entries from the queue if the count exceeds the maximum count. And that's it. With that, we are all set.